Locked in.
We're locked in. Welcome back. Monday morning, Sunday night for USA, guys. And we are back at these numbers 90 to 91K. Ethereum 3.1K. Everything's looking a little bit green today. And in this video, Parker, if I can run this by you, I thought this would be a fun video. How to deploy maybe $10,000 at this kind of time in the market. Okay, we're going to look at some coins. We're going to look at chat. If anybody has any interest in stuff with coins as we go through this video and some narratives that I'm going to talk about, we would love to bring them on. Sound good?
Of course.
Okay. I know a lot of people are just going to say, well, $10,000 just buy Bitcoin. What's the problem with that, Parker, if I was to ask you that?
Well, I know what you want me to say. It's just that you're not going to make life-changing gains off that 10,000.
And again, we have said many times on these streams to buy Bitcoin and just do nothing if you want to play that, because I give you the analogy, Parker Ray, if I put the gun to your head, you know, would you go away and say it's probably going to be worth $1 million one day? And you're right, it would. But Isaac, you've just turned that way up too high. I don't know why you've done that. That's really annoyed me. Just don't change the settings. What a terrible thing to do halfway through the stream. He just cranks up the volume. Anyways, altcoins to buy Bitcoin is really the kind of goal here. Isaac, why did you do that? That was so stupid, bro. And we're going to go through this as, you know, some coins are safe, some coins are not safe. Sui is going to be on this list because there's some interesting news. Parker, I told you before that.
Yep.
Which I think is interesting. So let's start. No, Parker, just before I start, do you have any coins you want me to put on this list? Any narratives that you're looking at recently before I give you my list?
The only one I'm looking at is Mute, which we can talk about later.
I wish I could mute you.
That's crazy, bro.
That is crazy. So I want to go over this little story right here because I think this would be kind of like a good setup, right? So this was kind of like me approaching Q4, and maybe you, Parker, maybe you guys at home, where we thought, you know, that 2025 was going to be a copy paste of 2021, and I'll put my hands up and I'll say I thought it was going to be somewhat the same. Would you? Would you raise your hands right now?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. E.g., we take our little dollar values, we buy some altcoins, we multiply this bag, and here's the reality so far for some of us, okay? We have less money, and we're sitting here thinking, where's our bill run? So what I would say is option one at the start of this video, where we could buy $10,000 worth of Bitcoin. Maybe in 10 years, that is worth 100K, which is great, but inflation, the 100K buying power today is not going to be worth the same. I think Bobby said in one of our group calls that the real inflation rate was 8%. Is that true? Not 3%?
On stuff you're actually buying? Yeah, probably.
And it's
versus
probably
the stuff that they say you're buying. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how fuel is in your country. I'm interested when I go back to the UK next week how much fuel is going to be for filling up cars and stuff. Is that going crazy in your country if you think about when you first started?
I couldn't tell you right now, Jake.
That I was going to jump him off there and just set him up for saying that, but he beat me to the pun, so congratulations. Option number two is what this video is going to be about. Is, well, you can buy 4 or 5 altcoins, okay? 2 to 6 months, maybe you have the 100K, maybe you have 0. Our goal is obviously for not that to happen. And then if done correctly, then you would maybe have 1 Bitcoin. Depends what the price is. So that's just the way I want to treat this video. I think most of you guys are altcoin believers as well as Bitcoin. But, you know, for some of the smaller guys out there, there's a reason why they don't have Bitcoin, and that is obviously to write up cryptocurrency for its worth. A lot of people are saying Q1, Q2 is when this really bull run is going to kick in. Parker, would you agree? I don't know. The fact of that is, I'm just looking at Bobby and some other guys in that group, but that's what people are saying.
Locked in either way. I'm ready to see it. Bring it on.
Locked in either way. So, what do you guys think about Solana as the first coin?
You want chat or you want me?
Anybody. I can't read chat right now. The reason
for me, I mean, I still like Solana. I use it. It's a chain I love, and it's fast. And like, so for example, today I'm buying some Christmas gifts, and I was using some USDC on Solana just to get gift cards straight out of Solana, you know, that way, which is and Solana was super convenient, fast to use, boom, instant Amazon gift card, right? And then so yeah, I quite love it, man. It gets the job done for me and everything I need it to do.
the reason why I wanted to start with Solana is obviously we're not going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to talk about using altcoins to buy Bitcoin, okay? Because again, that should be the goal in my opinion. If you believe in Bitcoin long term. Ethereum, I'm going to completely ignore that as well, just because the market cap's a little bit too high. And then I'm really going to start Solana. No, you could replace this with XRP. You could replace this with BNB. But in my opinion, those market caps they're a little bit high. You know, Solana is still high, but it's pretty much like 50%, if not a little bit less than what these are. But the reason why I wanted to put Solana in here is because you can monetize it. Okay, you can monetize this pretty well on DeFi liquidity pools, as well as using the GG indicator, which we are waiting for a confirmation for most coins to go back on green. Okay, most coins on the GG indicator, if I refresh this is obviously updated since the other day, are in big red, right? And you'll see that with Sui in a second as well, Parker. That I have to put on the table there. It is, most coins are heavily in red. But the reason why I wanted to put Solana there was it's going to be your kind of baseline coin, in my opinion, where if you're brand new to cryptocurrency, where it's not a huge market cap, but it's a big enough market cap where I would probably say it's going to survive. You'll make more gains in Bitcoin Ethereum, in my opinion. I'm not telling you $133 is the price to buy Solana at, but I'm just saying, you know, what's the risk of this going down to zero compared to other coins that we're going to chuck on this list? So one of your blue chips, I would say, it did well in the last bull run. It's done well in this bull run, if we're being honest. It depends what time you bought it at. And I think it has a lot of potential going forward. I know Raoul Pal is very bullish on Solana. He's got the whole business cycle going forward.
Heavy bags.
Heavy bags. And he's obviously a smart guy coming from, I think he came from Wall Street, right? So usually people say follow the smart money. And I would just looking at Solana, if we go back to this, as one of your coins, you know, to buy and then potentially rotate those profits to Bitcoin, okay? But what I will say is if you buy Solana right now, which you shouldn't, you should go away and research it. Okay, chances are most of these guys are in the chat obviously know what Solana is. But if this was to drop below $100, you have to have the mindset with most of these coins in this list that you have to be okay with that dropping, okay? Because if you're not, any coin I give you on this list, you're actually going to lose money if you can't handle a little bit of fear. But Solana, not too long ago, September, a couple of months ago, was at $250. So again, we always say we get a 50% discount. You go to Walmart, you go to Tesco, you look at the $1,000 TV. In 2 months, if it's on the sale for $500, I'm going to pick up that TV, okay? That's the way I kind of look at this. And that TV is actually going to lose you money because you're going to waste time on TV watching Parker Ray's channel, okay? Talking about DeFi pills, I told you. But with this coin, potentially, you can buy 5 TVs down the line, okay? And fill up your whole house. So that's the first coin I would put on there as your kind of blue chip. The second coin, and I did this for you, Parker, is going to be Sui, okay?
Ooh.
I'm having to pump up his bags because he's bleeding so hard on this coin, guys. Ridiculously hard. He was one of those guys, he won't tell you this, I bought this at $4.50, okay? So I
don't think I did.
I'm joking. He's struggling hard, okay? But here's the interesting thing with Sui. Apparently, 3 days ago, depends what time you're in, they just filed to launch a spot ETF, okay? Now, this doesn't mean the price is going to go up crazy, because if that was the case, Sui would be back at $4. But, you know, when people share this on Twitter, especially by Coin Bureau, a big YouTuber, okay, you got 129,000 views in this tweet, and probably how many other people are sharing it. This is potentially good for big players to come and buy Sui, unlike the Raoul Pals, etc. I think he has a little bag of Sui as well. I think he's actually on their council member board, which is good for you. But this brings some legitimacy and some transparency to say that, hey, this altcoin is probably going to be around. Because I know XRP just did the same. It was on futures ETF, but now they also have a spot ETF on XRP as well, I think 3 or 4 weeks ago, which again is just good for the whole market in general. Good if you're an XRP holder, good if you're a Sui holder, okay? But it doesn't mean the price is going to go up tomorrow. And here's another thing, Parker, I found this 3 days ago as well. 2 billion in weekly perpetual volume, making 136% growth. So a lot of people are trading Sui, using...
A lot of people trading, taking their bets.
Using DeFi and Sui, and potentially now going to be able to, the bigger players buy SUI as an ETF, which is obviously going to be good for SUI in general. On the chart, though, it's rough. Okay.
It's rough.
It's rough.
It is rough for sure.
But is it rough if you're buying SUI today compared to $4.50?
Oh no, you should be thankful. You should be thankful you're buying now. Be thankful you didn't hear about it till now, or you didn't pull the trigger till now. Of course.
Again, unfortunately, if you watch Parker Ray's channel before, he's been telling you to buy this coin at sub $3.
I was telling you to buy it sub 80 cents.
What's also nice as well is you can monetize this as well, because that's what we do. And we look at coins as well that we can monetize. Some coins we can't. But hey, if you like prices today at SUI, if you like the ETF that I've just shown you there with the potential there, you like the volume that's potentially there, and you could stack SUI with USDC, you could stack SUI with Walrus, which he likes to do, which could be another great play with the SUI ecosystem coin, and you could stack more SUI for free at these prices. So just trying to show you guys some way to monetize this at these prices, because I don't know how long SUI is going to be at these prices. I don't know if it's going to fall tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to go up tomorrow. That's not what we're here to do. We're here to buy altcoins that we believe in, build our main bags first, and then use that to buy Bitcoin in the longer term. That's just at least my play and the goal of this video. So I bought $0.5 Bitcoin today, buying HBAR at 0.05, the bottom. Okay, nice. As we get into this video, we're now going to talk about some degen narratives. Okay, Parker, what's your opinion on anybody else in chat, on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter or X, TikTok? What's your opinion on these platforms for a creator?
I mean, in terms of like how they pay, or what exactly do you mean?
Just as like, where I'm going with this is basically a lot of content creators. I set him up there and he just completely fumbled it back. I didn't
know which way you were going.
A lot of content creators are being shut down, I guess you could say. Instagram, Facebook, you really can't, especially Facebook. I don't use Facebook, but I know a lot of my older friends still use Facebook. They seem to be censoring a lot of comments, which is fine. It's their platform. They can do what they want. But a lot of people, you know, really can't just say what you want. X is a little bit better. You can pretty much say, I'm pretty sure, whatever you want. But there's a lot of platforms for creators where, like, you know, you're being shut down. You're being shadow banned. You're being, you know, YouTube. We love YouTube. Twitter. We love Twitter. But Facebook, obviously some creators make a lot of money on Facebook, but now they're having the realization that they really can't post what they used to post, and some of the stuff they're having to litter down, right? That's just the reality of being a content creator. And some of these platforms, where they used to be great, they're not paying you that much. And the next thing is Pump.fun. Now, I think Pump.fun is great. Now, I'm not telling you guys to go on Pump.fun and buy their meme coins that they launch, because you're probably going to lose all your money. That's just a reality. But there's a new meta where creators and people are going to these crypto platforms because they can say what they want, okay? They can say basically whatever they want. We've seen that with Alex Becker. I think he had one of the biggest crypto streams on Pump.fun in the world. So there's this new meta where this media sort of cryptocurrency narrative is spawned, right? We didn't have this in 21. We definitely didn't have this in 2017. It was more like gaming, memes. AI was here in 2025, which it still probably is going to be. Gaming hasn't done anything this bull run. It did well in 2021, but there's this new meta of content creators / media coins, okay, media coins, media platforms, where a lot of people are going to, because here's the numbers, Parker, and this is why I said we should definitely stream on this. You ready? This will blow your mind.
Yeah.
This creator, his name's Jakey, 30 minutes streaming on Pump.fun, 85K in rewards.
Damn,
okay.
What the fuck?
Yeah, this is, I mean, I'll tell you right now, YouTube are not going to pay you this. Here's another guy. He earned $89,000 this month. I don't know who these guys are. Somebody would have to check them. They might be huge, but
I know the Jakey guy.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they're not going to make anywhere close to this on YouTube, right? $89,000, and there's just screenshot after screenshot. 17K, 370K, 89K from this creator, 250K. And I think a lot of creators are going to jump to Pump.fun because they're paying you way more. And I'll give you the numbers here. This on screen is the daily revenue of Pumped Up Fun. Okay, you can see they're pretty much doing every single day millions and millions of dollars, and they're paying most of that to the creators. Okay, where they can say what they want within reason. I'm pretty sure they can say whatever they want. Obviously, we don't want crazy stuff on there, but you can't even post anything near on what you can do in Pumped Up Fun compared to Facebook and Instagram Meta, right? So my whole narrative here is media platforms for creators to come here, and in return, I'm not telling you to buy Pumped Up Fun, but I think these new coins have potential. Okay, they have potential because number one, they're creating revenue, which is obviously a good sign. It's almost becoming a little business. How many coins do you know, Parker, that actually make revenue? Not a lot. Not a lot. You know, barely any. So on the chart, could be a good buy. Again, most of these coins are going to be massively off where they were previously. So Pumped Up Fun would be in my risky narrative, but a narrative that you can look at revenue, you can look at people signing up to the platform. Again, I'm a numbers guy. Their lifetime revenue is almost $1 billion. Keep that in mind. And from the little research I've done, they're paying creators a lot of money. What do you think about that?
I'm curious. So what is it they're getting paid so much from just for the live stream? Are they getting paid because of the token attached to the live stream, or what exactly is it?
Well, how do you get paid on YouTube? You're not monetized yet, are you? So he doesn't know. So I'm guessing they have ads, okay? I'm guessing that's
There's no way that's all ad rev. There's no way.
I mean, here's the numbers. Every single day.
A 30-minute stream?
I mean, these guys are massive. Every single day, they're making millions, like just randomly here on the 25th of 1st of January, 23rd of January, they made $5 million this platform, okay? And I'm just guessing YouTube has hundreds of millions of creators, millions of videos probably spawning every single day. Don't fact check me on those numbers, but let's be honest, compared to a platform that probably doesn't have millions of people posting every single day, okay? So there's a lot of potential for these creators to come on here and suck up some of that initial value, right? So I think we're going to try this maybe next week to stream on here, not to make a bunch of fucking money, just to see how it does, because that's what's obviously happened. A lot of creators are jumping onto these platforms because they're just more crypto friendly. Again, on TikTok, you can't even post a video on TikTok. Every time I've tried to back in the day, it would just immediately get shut down. I'm like, bro, I'm just talking about the market. I can't say anything. So
interesting.
Yeah. The next one is Zora. Parker, you know a lot about Zora. Parker actually has a channel on Zora. Not that you should go and check it out because he's posted one fucking video probably.
One video, man. Just one.
Yeah. Basically, Zora, as you can probably see, it kind of looks like Instagram from maybe 2 years ago. Okay. Now, Zora itself is an absolute terrible platform because it's not like, what's going on here? It's not got the algorithm yet where it can get good. Okay. So that's my whole thesis here. Once the algorithm is good, it'll start showing, like, I'm just randomly, I'm obviously not interested in this, right? I fucking leave, you know? I might be interested in this, but my point is, once Zora potentially gets good, this could be like the new way of Instagram for creators, because a lot of creators are already starting to post here, okay? Make some money, where this could be not an Instagram destroyer, but an Instagram early days, okay? Where creators come in here, they get that initial value, and then this starts to get really, really good. As well as Zora the coin has done well. We know a guy called Kyle in our group that is massively heavy on Zora, that believes in Zora as a platform. And, you know, if this happens, great. We'll see going forward. But this is my whole narrative with media coins. Media coins taking somewhat of the spotlight because there is value compared. Like, we've gave gaming a chance this bull run, okay? And all gaming's done this bull run is just suck us dry with not making any good games, not doing anything in terms of our coins prices. They've just went down. And just making a lot of promises where they haven't made any games where people can play that you would even want to play, right? And I'm just saying, the way I see maybe a next kind of narrative spawning here, which it's already doing in real time. Again, the numbers don't lie with the data I've shown you, where people, content creators, and maybe if you are a brand new person and think, okay, YouTube's too hard, well, maybe you should jump on Zora and start and get that initial value where maybe you have a chance. Because YouTube's hard, right? Because there's a lot of fucking competition. Are you going to live stream at 8 o'clock in the morning and try and beat us? Probably not. But we're not on Zora. We are not on Pump.fun. So maybe you can get that initial value there. And again, the screenshots I've shown you, you're not going to make 300K in 1 month in your first night. But you can start to get that initial people on there and build up a community. So that's what I'm thinking there. Any thoughts on that before I keep moving on?
Not really as far as Zora. I mean, it's a cool concept for me. And as far as the coin itself, we've, guys in the group been monetizing that and making money off of just holding Zora, monetizing that, earning like, a nice APR. But in terms of the site, kind of like you said, it's not there yet. It doesn't have anything that's like pulling me to it. Like I don't really feel like I need to go there yet, unfortunately.
Yep. And that's the biggest thing I was going to talk about there was if that can happen, basically, I don't know about you, but I'm like a YouTube addict, right? I'll go on YouTube and I'll immediately get a video I want to watch, right? It just knows what to recommend you. I've seen myself in YouTube Shorts just scroll, and it's just like the next short is perfectly like, and I'm just on the platform. The problem with Zora and other platforms right now, I mean, none of this stuff, I'm already thinking about leaving this site, right? I'm not interested in flowers. I'm not interested in this guy's fucking watch, okay? So there needs to be a way where when I come on here, I mean, I'm just showing you the real. There needs to be a way when I come on here that like, okay, bam, 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 and I'm on the platform for so a long time. I mean, what the fuck is this? But eventually.
But it's like, even from this side of it, it's like, why do I want to buy a piece of this token? It's like, is it just to support the creator? Like, why exactly do I want to buy?
Well, we're talking about buy-in. We're talking about buy-in in terms of locking in something that could be the next narrative and catching something early. Okay, that's what I'm talking about here. I'm not talking about buying this for the creator, because that's the whole reason why I haven't started a Zora account yet, because I'm like, okay, well, I'll make some posts, but like, we're already doing well on YouTube. But as far as buying a coin and seeing the potential, like, why did you buy gaming coins in the last bull run? Okay, why did I buy Illumium, make a bunch of money, lost a bunch of money? Because I thought Illumium was going to have a great game. I bought that because
you're hoping for a good product.
I thought there was going to be a good product, but all Illumium have done in my portfolio has lost me 90% of my bag because they haven't done fucking anything. They've got lazy. Most gaming coins haven't done anything since 2021, apart from trying to market nothing. And then when people go and try and play the game, they're like, why am I playing this? Let me just boot up fucking Call of Duty. There's no point. So all that to say is, if you believe in this sort of narrative, maybe, because again, we're trying to look at a 10K portfolio and not buy huge market cap coins to change your life. Okay. Now, this could change your life in the bad way. It could go to zero. I don't know. But there's just something perspective about these coins, especially Zora, kind of beating the market right now. And like you said, you can monetize Zora on VFAT. I think Kyle's made like 100K in free Zora, which is pretty crazy from doing nothing that he's already had. So there's options. There's options. The next narrative is privacy. Can you guess the two coins I'm going to mention here?
I know the one that I want to say.
Say it. That's why you're here.
But you don't have it on your list yet, so I'll save it for last.
Maybe I do. How do you know? You know one of them. Okay. The first coin is Zcash. Had to mention it. You don't like Zcash?
It's just so mainstream right now. No, keep going.
Okay.
It was the easy answer.
It was the easy answer because I start off easy and I try and digest each narrative before we get a little bit more complicated. The issue I have with Zcash, when I look at the all-time chart, I know that's going to scare a lot of people off. Okay? It looks like ICP. It looks like Jasmy. It looks like a lot of coins that have no chance in hell. But as you start to zoom in on this, you see some life. Okay? Now, it came a long way off the top. I think it was up 10x, 1,000%. Now it's only up 300 only. Again, most coins haven't done anything in this time frame. Zcash has the same supply as what, Parker? Without looking at my screen.
What was that, BTC?
Yeah, which is kind of interesting. I'll give you some numbers here. No, I don't think this is going to happen. If Zcash was to 100x from here, okay, it would be still only worth less than 1/3 of Bitcoin. Now, it's not going to happen, right? I don't think Zcash is going to 100x, right? But if it was to do that, it would still be only worth less than 1/3 of Bitcoin, which is no chance going to happen, right? But I think of Zcash as like private money, right? That's what I think of this as. Bitcoin is obviously a store of value. You can go on a plane. We've all heard this story with your Trezor, have $1 billion in that, and it obviously beats gold, right? In terms of the product, right? Zcash is almost like private money, okay? With the same max supply, where they're not going to print this coin to infinity because they can't. So that's where I would see Zcash. It's obviously having some sort of run, and people are obviously flocking to Zcash because they want that privacy. They actually see some value.
People are
in it.
flocking to it because the price went up. That's why they're flocking to it. It'd be so for real, bro.
Well, the initial pump had to come from somewhere, right?
True. Yeah, I will say it's impressive to think of all the people that might have been buying while that chart was dead. Like, the amount of faith in that is crazy.
Because if the coin just doesn't go up because of what he said, because somebody had to start this, right?
Yeah.
Somebody had to start this. Unfortunately, right now, if you did buy the top, now you're feeling the pain of what cryptocurrency will do to you. You buy on a pump when you should be buying when nothing's happening, or you buy on maybe future of what you can see. Yeah, Zcash on TradingView, I'm not really going to talk about it right now. Obviously, it called on the GG indicator absolutely fantastically. It's obviously taking a little breather right now, but you know crash trades?
Oh, yeah.
So this is what he was saying.
Here it is.
We've got a tier list ranking on Zcash. So now, this is actually about Monero, which, whoopsie, I've just jumped guns here. This is not Zcash, this is Monero. Whoops. Monero was
This is the one I was waiting for.
Monero is the second. So is this going to be your coin?
No, but this is the one I expect you to talk about.
Okay.
But this is part of what I want to talk about.
Okay, so Monero is obviously going to be on this list as well. I've lost my other tweet. Oh, well. So he thinks Monero is going to be worth $20,000 a coin. I don't think so, but here's what he says. So he ranks Monero in every single category the best, far from durable, because obviously gold is A+, but every single category from history, obviously, because Monero has been, how long? Not that long, maybe a decade, maybe less, 2017, 2015, I don't even know. But it's not got the history where gold's been around for years and years and years, decades, right? But as far as everything else, moving it around, being completely anonymous. I think they had a bounty on Monero, and I think they still do. If anybody could crack it, they would pay $1 million or maybe even more. And nobody's ever hacked Monero, because guess what? It's the #1 coin in this privacy. Like, you can't touch us, right? Nobody's ever came close to hacking this coin or doing anything with it. So the way Crash ranks this is pretty much A+ going around. Now, again, I'm not here to tell you that it's going to $20,000. Okay, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're talking about ranking this coin compared to other sorts of money, okay, compared to Bitcoin, which again, Bitcoin, I don't want you to think of this as money. I want you to think of this as a store of value, okay? Same with gold. But fiat is obviously, people are waking up to the fact that cash is trash. Cash is good if you have a business, monthly income, okay, that's what you need to stack. But the way I look at cash is like, okay, well, we stack cash, but we need to get rid of it, because if we hold cash in our bank, we are losing money, purchasing power. It might still say $100,000 in your bank, but what can that buy you? And people are starting to wake up to that $3,000 as your monthly check isn't worth $3,000 50 years ago. You could probably put a house deposit down for $3,000 back in the day. I'm pretty much you could, right? So, you know, cash is trash, but cash is needed to survive. But it should be deployed as fast as possible into food, home, cars, investments. You need to do something with cash, right? What were you going to
know what I think about sometimes? How like that overarching goal is always to like hit your first million, be a millionaire. Just think about how much farther a million like went back then. Think about what a millionaire was like even just a couple hundred years ago. That's a fuck ton of money. So much more than it is now. $1 million barely gets you the dream car you want nowadays. We were just talking about what, the GT3 RS, $500,000?
Yeah. So $1 million, and it's not even that long ago. I'm trying to think what my dad told me the last time I was back in UK. I think he used to get, I can't even remember, but he used to always say he used to get paid this much per hour. And it was like, even me, when I used to work at Spar and Domino's, it's not even that long ago, but I think I used to get paid £3 an hour, which sounds terrible, bro. I was getting fucking scammed. But, you know, £3 an hour when you're 17, you know, it used to actually do something. £3 right now, you know, you'd have to work a full day, 8 hours, make £24, and maybe you can buy a meal deal, your gym membership, and maybe gas to get you home. Maybe. So back then it was enough to survive. And this is only 10 years old. Okay? But if you were to take that, and everybody always gets excited about, oh, I just got a pay rise of like $1, $2, which it sounds great, but really you are still losing. You really are still using if you're trying to save your way to freedom, because you're not going to save your way with an extra $2 an hour. You're not going to save anything.
When I was selling cars, there was this older guy that came in. He was buying this car in cash or whatever, you know. So I was just talking to him about what he did and whatnot. But I heard his whole story. But what was crazy is that he told me, like, out of high school, he just started working like a little labor, like an entry level little labor job. He was making, it was something that looked bad on paper, like what, $4 or $5 an hour or something like that. But I did the inflation adjustment there with him because we were spitballing, waiting for finance to come through or whatever to approve his title work on the car. And it equated to like $50 an hour in today's money. That's how bad inflation's become. He was technically making $50 an hour out of high school, just a normal ass job. That's how much inflation has just screwed us compared to when he was younger. So crazy to me.
Yeah.
For just graduating high school, just entry level job.
Yeah. There's a lot of perspective you need to have about what we're doing with our money. Now, I know it's difficult if you are making a 2 to 3K because, you know, you have a car bill, you have a mortgage, not even including your kids, you have, you know, stuff you actually want to do. But then when you start thinking about, oh, I would like to go away on holiday, well, you can't, because you literally can't. Like, how much is it going to cost you? I know it's not going to cost you a lot, but for you to come to Thailand, like,
it's actually cheaper than some domestic flights. It's like $1,000, but that's not, I haven't looked at what a first class or business would be. That's just economy.
Yeah. So he takes like a month off, let's just say, from his job. Okay. $1,000 to come back. You're probably going to spend a couple, maybe. Right. So you really have to have, maybe let's just say you have to have $4 or $5 for that trip to be comfortable, right? Just maybe. Hear me out. Okay.
Yeah.
By the time you get back, and most people don't have $5,000. I think with the actual numbers, most people don't have most people live paycheck to paycheck, which is sad because we're trying to talk about coins you can get into, but most people can't even get any coins. Us, you know, watching this channel, you probably have a portfolio, you probably are doing better than other people, but most people can't even start buying anything. And that's the reason why people like to buy these coins at 0.0001 price, because they're like, oh, I can buy 1 million of them. Maybe it'll go up to Bitcoin's price one day, and we all know what happens at that story. So the issue with cash, like we said, it's just constantly going to be devalued. So going back to Monero here, and what Crash was saying, it ticks a lot of these boxes. Okay, we can't really calculate history because it's only as long as it's going to be around. You have to let that baby set. You know, even Bitcoin's a C on his ranking because, you know, it's a new asset class compared to gold, right?
Yeah.
But you make money about being early. You know, Nvidia stock, for an example, right? It's obviously going to be way down the line on a ranking compared to how long it's been out, but that's where the money's made because you took a bet, you took a chance. And that's maybe why you're here, to look at coins, not these coins. You start saying, okay, well, maybe I like that coin. Maybe I like a different coin, what Jake and Parker are saying. But that's what you have to do because, you know, you can buy the S&P 500 and make 10% per year, but do you really make 10% per year if inflation rate's 8%? Well, really, you net 2%. So the 10% is a scam, to be honest. If money stayed the same, yeah, you'll make 10%. You'll get rich that way over the longer term. But on 2%, it's going to take you a long effing time. And maybe you make it by the time you're 50, 60. But for me, it's not good enough, to be honest. So there has to be another way. And that's the reason why me and him and you probably chose cryptocurrency, because we need to get ahead. Okay. What was your coin?
All right. You got your screen pulled up here. Type in, what is it called here? Type in mute swap. Type that bad boy in. And this is going to tie in perfectly to my chat just said that they don't know how to buy Monero. Like they don't see it on a lot of exchanges, right?
Is it this one? Zero? No.
No. Do it on a Google tab. Search in Mute Swap.
This one?
I have a delay to your screen. I don't see it in real time. It's a little bit of a delay, but yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yep. So essentially, this part of this privacy layer is really cool, and I see a really strong use case for this. First off, you could buy Monero with anything through this site, right? To where you can see the UPay spot, Jake. You can fuck around with that while I'm talking about it if you want. Or you can choose different assets to send, and you're going to receive different assets. But where this really can shine in terms of privacy right here is that you can actually basically send any kind of crypto and then receive any kind of crypto. And what it's going to do is just use Monero as this middle layer to where, like, say you sent Bitcoin and you wanted Solana, it just does Monero as this little in-between swap. And so what this does is it actually creates the private transactions that you want. So like if Jake wanted to send me money, but didn't want anyone to know, he could send me USDC, but it goes through Monero first. And it just does all this in the background for you. And it actually creates that private swap, which I think is really interesting and really cool. And I do see a strong use case for it. Mute is their token. I personally don't own the token at the moment. I'm looking at a couple of charts. I was looking to see what kind of liquidity pools they have to monetize it. But as an actual feature and use case for privacy, I think this is really strong potential and a really good use case for both just acquiring Monero if you want to hold it or using it to keep your transactions private.
Okay, so what's the coin? How does somebody buy the coin?
The coin is Mute, so you'd be able to just type that in on Uniswap, or if you type it in on...
It's not on CoinMarketCap, though?
Possibly not. Let me see. I pulled it up on CoinGecko. Mute Swap by Virtuals. There you go. It was right there.
Calm down. Mute Swap. Okay, got it. So what's the market cap of this?
2.2 mil.
2.2 mil. Okay, so this is a baby. This is something.
Baby coin right there.
This is something where maybe we fill up the ones that we just talked about. Again, you don't have to buy any of these coins, and you shouldn't buy any of these coins, but this is maybe the last deploy. This shouldn't be number one if you have 10K to put 10K on this. Maybe it should be, because maybe that's a risk you want to play, but okay. Mute Swap 2.2, 422, circulating supply. Okay, there you go. That will be Parker's coin. That is sort of in
chat
this
saying something about Crash. Yeah, Crash just posted about this as well. So, personally, I don't hold any of this Mute, but the site itself, whether you're just even using it to acquire Monero or you want to keep your transactions private, this is a very, very useful protocol.
Okay. Cool. Very good. You added a coin that probably a lot of us haven't heard of, for good or bad. If this coin goes to zero, we all know who to blame. But
I don't own any, but you could use it for private swaps.
You can't mention a coin and not have it, bro. That is almost
I'm just taking a peek at it. I haven't made any decisions yet. Actually, I did open one test pool of it earlier, right before the call, with $1. So technically, I own like $1 worth, but it is saying almost 3,000% APR. So we are in a testing phase.
You shouldn't mention that, because now a lot of people, if they can find it and do a little bit of research, they'll suck up all your liquidity.
That's fine, because the liquidity is so low right now. We need it.
He needs your liquidity, so he needs your bags. But okay, product looks good. Market cap is very, very low, but it could be one of those early gems. If Monero leads the way, Zcash is leading the way, money always rotates to smaller coins in that category. So he could.
But that's just the way I invest, right? I'm investing in the things that I can see myself using or other people would be using. And this is something where I can actually see the use case and see the value in it for even just the everyday person or people that want those quiet transactions. The same way that I invest in Solana and Sui, because they're layer ones that I use every day and monetize every day. It's the same thesis for me.
Okay. Let me look at some questions. We're fucking already at 9:10. Time flies. Parker, can you earn yield staking stablecoins? Never looked into that.
Say that one more time. I didn't hear you.
Can you earn yield staking stablecoins?
Yeah, I mean, there's different yield protocols. Like you can lend out stable coins, earn anywhere from 6 to I've seen up to 20% before when people are borrowing a lot. It just depends on the blockchain, the protocol that you're on, and what stablecoin it is. There's certain stablecoins you can earn a lot more on. If you're sticking with the OG like USDC, USDT, it's usually like 6 up to 12%, I would say, a year, which is better than any savings account you're gonna have.
Yeah, so that's nice because stable coins, staking. I mean, I'd rather try and find a pool in it because if I want to move money, I don't want to like lock it up. But like, as far as what we talked about, inflation rate being 8, the stock market on average will give you 10, but you might have to go through some bad years to even get that average of 10, and you never know when you're going to buy the tops. As far as just straight cash, that would, if you want no risk, that might be a better option just by looking at the maths, because you're already beating that by having cash. Plus, at any time, if you want to buy crypto or the S&P, you can come into that at prices you like. So again, it's just this. There's really videos about if you're holding cash in your bank account, it's fine for a short term. You definitely want to do that, but the more you leave it in there and you think you're going to save yourself to richness, the longer you're going to realize that you can buy way less. And the difficult thing with most people to understand is, again, you have 10K in your bank account, it's still going to say 10K. But when you pull up to actually buy stuff, e.g. just Bitcoin, if you're trying to buy Bitcoin at the start of this bull run at 22, 23, you can barely enough buy, you could almost buy a full Bitcoin with 10K at 16, 17K, but now you can't even buy nearly a fraction of it, of what you could have bought it. So again, if we talk about inflation to real assets like Bitcoin, like coins, like Ethereum, Solana, even at the start of this bull run, the inflation rate is fucking crazy high. Crazy high. Because you can't do any damage with 10K. So, and one day that 10K when Bitcoin's $1 million, which I will keep saying on this stream, one day it will be worth that. Like you're not doing anything. So that is the real inflation rate compared to assets.
One day it'll be worth that just because the dollar's so shit. Eventually it'll be shit enough that Bitcoin's $1 million.
And
the same way eventually a car. Yeah, the same way eventually a car.
That goes back to the quote as fiat has no bottom, which if you don't understand what that means is it's just going to keep going down. Thus Bitcoin has no top. Good quote there. Good quote.
In chat here, they're asking, Parker, what's your favorite way to monetize Solana? My favorite and most effective, if I could rewind completely and start over, I would always start with lending first. So I'm buying this Solana straight up that I want. I'm holding it long term, lending it out. I borrow, let's say 30% against my Solana, and then monetize that in liquidity pools. So I'm keeping full long exposure on my big bull run bags of Solana, taking out a business loan, say I'm paying like 5% a year in interest, and I'm using that to make me enough income to cash flow whatever I want to buy, whatever I want to do, whatever I need. So that's my preferred way to play it. You can just go directly into pools. In fact, I recommend that while you're starting out. But as you start to learn and get more advanced, lending against your spot bags and leveraging that, I think is the best way to play it. Because when the market returns, you'll get full appreciation. But while we're sitting here going sideways, doing nothing, we're also printing cash. So I think it's the best of both worlds.
Yeah. You know, if you just want the least stress possible and you want to monetize Solana, you could go Solana Render, you could go Solana USDC. If you have a fucking sketchy meme coin on Orica, you can probably find that as well. Solana Avo was a lot of guys that used to run. Solana Fartcoin, maybe. Maybe. But asset to asset, if you have both assets and you're not just randomly buying Fartcoin.
Hey, Solana Fartcoin's paid me good for a long time. I have like $2,000 in it, but it's paid me good. It's done me well. You're asking Jupiter in chat. Jupiter is what I would use to make any purchases on Solana I wanted to do for anything. But I don't provide liquidity over there. No, I usually use Orca if I'm on Solana.
Yep. Let me do some shout outs because I feel like I need to do that. If you like DeFi, go to his channel, Parker Ray Crypto. Show him some love. He's trying to get monetized because he needs to buy a new car.
I might wait till after February.
You should. Like, don't buy that fucking truck. That's a waste of money, and you'll regret that so hard. Come over to UK and sit in my truck. If you're interested in trading and you want a free group, you can come here. Bro, your guy, the crypto expert, bro.
He's in your chat right now. He said Fartcoin's the future of finance.
Crypto expert, bro. You're fucking killing it in this group. You're posting the most wins, okay? Solana, like this morning when I was sleeping, 447, 100% here. using some crazy leverage, but if it's working, it's working. Bro, these BitUnix fucking meme coins they give you are so dopamine.
Dude, isn't it so good? Like, yeah, I would do it just for those.
Yeah, but the problem is you're going to see losses in your accounts. You'll probably see a big sad face. If
Wait,
you're
we
like,
haven't seen any loss screenshots though. What do they look like?
I don't
What
know.
do they look like on these?
I don't know. We don't lose. Crypto
Someone
expert,
post an L in the chat. Come on now.
Show an
Post
L.
your L's.
Yeah, no, don't post an L on the wins. Maybe we'll have a loss.
The Zeus one's my favorite.
The Zeus one is my favorite too. Yeah, this guy's pretty.
Where's it at? Market thoughts?
Yeah, these emojis, these fucking wins just make the dopamine go so high. That kind of looks like you,
Dude.
and that kind of looks like me. I don't know.
I'm fucking dead. Go to Market Thoughts. The channel on the left side. That'll have
Yeah.
the Zeus one.
Boom.
Yeah, that one's fire, bro.
Yeah. So if you guys want to join this for free, okay, and get access to our GG indicator, and Bobby will plug you in. Just DM him after you join. Completely free. Nothing to sell you in this group. And Crypto Expert, if you want to start sharing your trades so guys can actually see where you're entering, that'd be good because it looks like you're the best member here so far. And yeah, daily wins. Daily wins. So you're making us look great, but share some strategies, bro, because fuck, let me copy your trades, bro. Because you're winning every single day when the market's tough. Right now, we're just hodling. We're eating shit.
Yeah, post some trades as you take them before the results come in.
Yeah. Maybe there's so many losses that he can't.
We just these are the 4 that went good, but there's like 20 L's.
Yeah. So if you want to join
That's
here,
the thing, though.
it's absolutely free. We're filling this. I think we have how many members we have here. We started this a couple of days ago. We're at 286. Bobby wants to cap this. I'm saying there's no cap right now, but this might be capped 300, 500, 1,000. I don't know, but he will plug you in with our GG indicator, and you don't have to do anything if you want to join this group. You just join. So, and as well, every single month we will have a live Q&A call with me and Bobby, and maybe a Crypto Expert. You can jump on there as well because you seem to know a lot about trading. Every single month we're going to have a completely free call. So if you want to speak to us, speak to Parker about DeFi. We even started a XRP club with Q. So I'm hoping he has some good trades on XRP, but there's even going to be a dedicated XRP trading thing that we just set up yesterday. So we'll see. But if you want access to the GG indicator, it's in the link on this screen. Come in and join it and get yourself
How
plugged
big's
in.
the group now? How many we got?
I just told you, bro. 286.
252 offline. Plus,
286.
yeah, there we go.
286,
Okay.
286. So it has grown a lot. So yeah, jump in here if you want to speak to us more personally. Look, boom, just new member just joined. Good to meet you, Lau FX Trading. Sick. All right, we've got 10 minutes left.
Also, side note, we will not DM you in this group, by the way. So any DMs you're getting, we had a call with a client joining our private community, and he said that he was getting DMs from Jake and stuff. We're never going to DM you in here. So anything you see reaching out to you on Discord, whether it looks like it's a fake account or if it looks real, it's not. It is fake every time. The only people we're DMing are in our school community privately, and you obviously would know that's us.
Yeah, I'm never going to DM you first. If you message me, I'll reply to you, but watch out from, and again, just, it's hard because these guys, they're so good.
They're good at it.
My
Yeah.
username is Jake_42210. I don't know why it is that. I just set it up. If you see something that's not here, that's missing, or they put a dot, it's not me. And again, I'll never DM you first, ever.
Look at your little plant, bro.
Yeah. So basically, I did some game thing, and it gave me this plant. I don't know why, but
Hell yeah.
yeah, it looks kind of gay, but at least it does something. Look at your account, bro. This is a proper account. You're definitely a paid fucking Discord user here. Look at this crap.
Look at that NFT I paid like $5,000 for. It's worth like $500 right now.
Yeah, don't buy NFTs. But yeah, jump in here.
Don't do it.
We won't DM you, but that's all I have on Discord. It should be in the pinned comment below. All right, we got
Link to group.
10 minutes left. Parker, lock in. Anything you have for the guys? I've done a lot of talking. Today.
I'm going to paste the link in my chat to your Discord real quick. Give me 1 second.
Way to maximize retention. What a good guy.
Of course, brother. Of course.
Wow.
Boom. Link is in the chat, boys. Locked in.
Okay, go.
Best place to stake H bar. That's more of a you question, Jake. I'm not an H bar guy.
Well, the problem with the staking H bar, you're currently on hashback. So I was staking it a while ago, 21 or 22 on hashback, where they were paying you 60% per year, which was good, because it would be about 6% per month, which was fantastic. Then it went to 50%, then it went to 40%, then it went to 30%. And by then I kind of left, I kind of seen where this was going. And then obviously it got more realistic. And again, that's because first mover advantage, right? Like the coin you talked about as well before, once people start realizing it's in, it's like they can't afford to pay you as many fees because there's too much liquidity there. So I wouldn't recommend staking it on hashback, but I don't know how much it's paying. Last time I checked, it was like 1 to 4% per year. So yeah, it's a way where you can monetize your H bar. You're technically monetizing your H bar, but for me, it's just not worth it. I believe there's one pool in VFAT, but again, it's just so new. There's only $6,000 last time I checked on TVL, so I would ignore that if you're a big enough player. If you have a couple $100, yeah, get in that pool, get some more H bar. I think it's against Ethereum, the last time I checked. So you could do that, but there's nowhere currently right now. I know you asked about staking, but I'm thinking about DeFi here, where you can currently make it make sense. But we had the same issue with XRP. And XRP pools started to take off, and there's like 5 or 6 decently sized pools on VFAT with XRP. So I do believe maybe one day we'll get the same kind of trade there.
Yeah, Zoid Pilot in your chat there, he was talking about Saucer Swap and Bonzo Finance earlier for HBAR. That's probably the best bet you have on HBAR right now if you want to stay native to HBAR, where you could lend on Bonzo, I believe, and then use Saucer Swap to do exactly what I talked about with Solana about 10 minutes ago, where you borrow against your HBAR and then monetize it. But it's just, I haven't found it to be as profitable, but it's something you could look into.
The other
take
thing
it slow,
you could
play
do,
with a small amount.
The other thing you could do is I'm guessing you don't just have HBAR in your asset list, right? The other thing you could do is if you have other assets, you can put them on VFAT, Orica, Turbo Finance, whatever coins you have. Use that, sell the fees that you would have made for free, and then buy more HBAR. That's something as well you could do, where you can make maybe 6% per month, 10% per month, maybe more crazier if you go down the degen route and you have some coins there that are just doing nothing. You can monetize that, sell those fees, and then buy back HBAR. That's something you could do if you want to kind of cheat the system that we talk about a lot. Because if you pull up to our group and you buy our 10K fast track with just HBAR, our initial thing is, well, yeah, you could stake it. We can try to do that in 1 second, but you're not going to hit the goals that you probably want. So let's sell a little bit of that HBAR right now. Okay, not that we would ever tell you to do that. It's financial advice, but buy some other coins that you have. Again, if you just have 100% HBAR, monetize those, and then buy back the HBAR. Now you have a free pool. That's something you can kind of gamify the system. If you just had a HBAR portfolio and you can't do anything with it, or anything with it that makes sense.
100% agree. Your chat right here, do you think Brett is more or less dying, or is it just asleep?
She's sleeping, bro. Like, bears,
meme
coins, frogs, these meme coins, they're in hibernation system. When a bear is, he gets fat, okay, he eats a lot of food, and now during the winter time, he can sleep for 6 months. So all he's doing is sleeping. No, but seriously, it's tough to look at a market cap of Brett of $183 million when I believe this was, back in the day, over $2 billion. But...
yeah, 25 cents almost, meh.
25, everything else in this meme coin category, bar some outliers, are in the same sort of category. It hasn't really changed number in ranking on meme coins. Maybe it's went up, maybe it's went down a little bit. SPX has had a run that's took over it, but everything else in this category is coming down with it. And that's because you've not really had a meme coin run that we expected yet. So it's sleeping. Hopefully the bear, the frog, whatever coin you have here, the penguin, will eventually wake up and start to go on another
character.
Yeah, that's literally what it is. And go on another feeding frenzy where you can start moving. But everything in this category, I mean, you even look at Dogecoin, right? Compared to this cycle, it's done okay, but it's not, again, came close to 2021's highs where, guess what, it should have beat that, right? It's not came close to that. And everything else in between this, Pepe, Shiba, official Trump. You want to talk about a coin that's fucking never probably going to wake up again? Maybe. I don't know. But most of these coins in this category, they're dead, or they're either opportunities of a lifetime if you can handle the risk.
I will say Trump coin is the one that screwed me the most. And it happened indirectly because there used to be a coin me and Bobby were in called MAGA. It was like a Trump coin before Trump had his official. We were providing liquidity and I had like 10 grand in there and it was making me a couple $100 a day. And I was compounding it all back in. And then one night, Trump just launches his coin and all the liquidity in my Trump coin became the off-brand version and it just fucking tanked.
Yeah,
that's like one of my worst pulls to date.
and
It was so good.
Also as well, without me even buying that, we were getting wrecked to meme coins because all the guys in Brett were like, okay, well, this coin's probably had enough run or it's probably not going to make me rich. Let me sell my Brett. So we all lost our liquidity to buy this and they bought at the top.
Yeah,
and then
no,
they read that
everything
down.
flooded out and into it. Yeah.
And the issue there is they can't sell their Trump coin. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't, but most guys won't sell their Trump coin at a 90, 85% loss because they have to hold it. And same with Melania, same kind of thing. So you got 2 for 1 in there. Everybody sold their coins, their meme coins, to buy this coin. So me, not even buying these coins because I was fucking asleep. We just woke up to most of our coins in this category being just sucked dry of liquidity without us doing anything. So we'll see.
It's fun
We'll
while
see.
it lasted on that one.
Yeah, it was a couple of days.
Is ICP a good buy? You know, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but that's going to depend on what you believe in. It's not something I can monetize in DeFi very easily for myself personally, and that's a big part of my investing plan and how I'm running my portfolio. So for me, it's a no, but for you, it may be a yes. Oh, don't show that chart, Jay.
So ICP is difficult, right? Because we talked about ICP being a good coin because you built a whole website with ICP of caffeine.ai. So ICP has a great, remember you built that website and I built that coffee store live last stream?
Yeah.
That was on ICP. So it has a good product. But if we look at the last all time, yeah, this was heavily manipulated and this wasn't really the real launch price. But last 1 year to date, you're down 76%. Last 1 month, you're down 60. So in the last month, this has lost most of its value, 62% in the last month. So is it a good buy now? Well, yeah, if you want to save yourself a 62% discount, but how far does this keep going down? It's still a $1.8 billion market cap, but I don't know. It's
I
like
don't know.
Jasmine.
A lot of these, I just start to think like, why do you want it? Why is this more attractive than something else that's been winning over time versus this is just consistently seeming to be losing, right? Is it just because you're hindsight trading and you think there's 100x in store, or is it because you actually use this and you see a lot of value? So I don't know. Find out why you actually want it and why you believe in it first, and then if you still do, yeah, invest in it. Just make sure it's not 100% of your portfolio.
Yeah. That's all I really got this stream. We will see you. I'll see you on Thursday, your time, Wednesday. I'll see Bobby in 2 days' time. So we'll get Bobby back on. Again, check out his channel. Check out the free Discord. And yeah, we'll see you in a couple days. Good stream.
GG, boys.
GG. Thank you.